Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and this is going to be the last banner overview for 2023. In general, the most important things I put in the community post from a few days ago, but I'll go over this stuff again. There's nothing too crazy to talk about. There's some good ways to burn discount tickets, but in general, Anniversary is still on its way, so I wouldn't go too crazy gem spending wise. And then at the end of the video, I'll do one pull on one of the banners just because that's where the gem spent milestone ended up putting me, so it's worthwhile for me to do it. And then before that, aka right now, I will talk for a little bit about how the year has been when it comes to Taga, because it's been almost exactly a year now that I started playing. So just a little context, back in those days, Global was on its way out. It was January. They were having Dead Week after Dead Week. The last new thing they did was New Year's mementos for Tiferet and Ragnarok, and then just nothing, for a month about. And then on, what was it? It was February. I think I don't remember if it was February 1st or not, or just the first reset in February. One of the two, they announced they were closing. So once they were in the multiple Dead Week stage, as I was thinking, I should probably start looking at Japan and see how viable that is. Luckily, with a little bit of a external app help, I was able to get the Japanese version on my phone, and I haven't really looked back since. I think it's overall been a very positive experience. It's harder to get invested in the story stuff in the same way. Sometimes I'll use image translation to get the gist of what's going on. Compared to some other games that I like, I wouldn't say the story is its strongest suit, but sometimes they put effort in places. I like holiday events. I tend to not like at all story-wise because I always feel like it's the same thing over and over again. But then other times the Also Sprock had amazing stories, so it's not that they don't have the capacity, it's just they don't have the consistency. But aside from that, another complaint that I have is the lack of collabs. I don't know if that's because they went into investing into their own IPs, and I got Lindrake's Yukata Memento. That's probably going to be the best result we'll see in total. It's already maxed out, by the way. But yeah, I don't know if it's focusing on their own IPs, one of which failed immediately. That was the Sakura something game. Astra Tarticus is still going, though. That game's really fun. I played it for a while. I liked it. I don't have any complaints, really, about the gameplay. I actually stopped playing it not because I didn't like it or I thought it was bad, but because I had heard from multiple people that the story was actually really good. And it's like, trying to image translate that's a lot of work. It would kind of suck me out of the experience. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather just take a gamble on the global version and see how that works out, because I would like to engage with that story just because it seems like it's really fun, and I appreciate the amount of effort that went into that game. But anyway, as far as Tagatame goes, I also appreciate the amount of effort that they put into innovating, because Enlightenment was a really solid method of power creep as far as raising the ceiling of what you can do, and then it felt like the game kind of had an existential crisis after the Gate of Pride, and trying to fill that with a bunch of little things. You got Phantom Memory, the ability to add little modifiers to your gears. Memento Enlightenment was a really solid one, though, just because being able to get all the stats out of a secondary memento increases the value of having a secondary memento a huge amount. And then the country mementos were also kind of nice, just as a stopgap for if you don't have a character or if the character just doesn't have a second. And looking forward, I definitely have high hopes for the game. I feel like it's probably going to be on a little bit of a downslope, but given how much the developers actually care about the Japanese version, I could see that being a very gentle downslope. And if they do decide to close the game, I would assume that they would give plenty of notice with their intentions to do so. But I think it's a little too soon to talk about that. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So the first two are the same format. I talked about these in the community post, but 5 stars. You might get limited, you might not. So I don't recommend full price, but as far as discount tickets goes, you could do a lot worse. I think it's a pretty solid way to burn them because, if you don't get much, you didn't spend many gems, but if you get something great, then that's pretty awesome. I was pretty happy to get Lindrake's Yukata memento from this. The 5k reroll one I don't recommend because I feel like you get to reroll, yeah, but you're paying 5k gems to do it. You can't get dragon or link version mementos from this. And so it's like you could just use discount tickets on the other memento banner and you get to keep more mementos total at less than half of the cost, you know, assuming you have 3 discount tickets. So to me, that's pretty ridiculous. Gears are another ridiculous one just because they give them away for free so often. Then we get to the Templar one. Now this one is kind of interesting because depending on how invested in the Templars you are / are going to be with all of their altar classes. Now Siba and Zain have them and there's more on the way. Each week they're going to be rolling out new quests for Soul and the normal pool Templars. Given that Ainz is going to have a link version, I think it's safe to assume the other limited also Sprock units will probably get link versions too. So I'd keep that in mind. I think as far as burning discount tickets goes, the other memento banner is going to be better because you could get any of these mementos on that one plus higher priority mementos, like Dragon link version, etc. But keep your eye on this just because it's going to be around for a long time. So you could end up being in a position where you have discount tickets and there's nothing better to pull on. So this might be an option just because you know it's going to be here for several weeks. Overall, I like the style of a pool that's restricted to something specific, but I always like it better when there's some way to guarantee a specific result. Like for me, I would either want Ainz's memento or Soul's very first memento, just 'cause I don't have either of those, and there's just no way to guarantee that on here, so that it loses points because of that. And then there's older banners like Smyers, if you want to throw your discount tickets at that, and then pretty much the same thing as what I said last reset about this stuff is still going to apply. So as you can see, there's definitely some good ways to burn the discount tickets before the month is up. So with this out of the way, let's go ahead and see what I get on that final memento roll. All right, so let's jump into this. I definitely think that one roll peaked because of just like Lindrake. That one also just had a fairly high degree of limited mementos. That was a long connecting moment there. What else did I got? I got Pamela's too. I haven't really finished raising her, but I kind of like to just because one, that her costume is funny, and then two, it seems like she's a pretty awesome support unit. And then everything else was kind of meh. It's like a limit breaks for some things, like Nimmel's second memento and like Dark Nyx's mementos, but otherwise nothing too noteworthy. This one is not going so great so far. It looks like it might just all be normal pool mementos. But yeah, it's alright. Oh, no, never mind. That one is definitely limited. Oh, nice. I still need to get Yomi, but she might actually be the top of my list for next time I get a selector. Because I have Yomi, the regular version, completely maxed out. Now I have her memento, so that definitely... And then I got Nidhogg recently, so... Yeah, that definitely increased the chances that I'll choose Yomi Link version if the opportunity comes up. So yeah, that is all for 2023. So if you are summoning, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all in 2024.